If she touches here, she's deeply attracted to you. High value dating psychology for men over 30 years old. Psychology tricks. What you do speaks so loudly that I cannot hear what you say. Picture this. You step into a room with the kind of grounded presence only a man over 30 really carries. You're not peacocking, you're not chasing attention. You're just composed, self possessed, and she feels it. A younger woman's eyes find you, and if she's genuinely drawn to you, especially on a deeper, more physical level, her body will start broadcasting what her mouth never dares to say. That's where a powerful dynamic kicks in: kinesthetic escalation, the gradual increase in physical contact that happens when attraction is real. Not forced, not scripted, but organic. It's a quiet escalation, a casual brush of your arm, a playful push, a lingering touch on your shoulder that lasts a second too long. These are not random. They're subconscious signals that her interest is rising. This instinct is ancient. It's primal. And when a younger woman feels that pull toward an older man, your steadiness, your life experience, your calm frame, it often shows up first in how, where, and how often she finds reasons to touch you. Her hands reveal the truth long before her words do. But keep this in mind. This isn't about judging her, slapping labels on her, or building fantasies out of nothing. It's about awareness. Real masculine power comes from reading reality clearly, not from assuming or forcing. Stay mindful. Stay observant. Let her actions speak, and let your response come from a place of grounded, intentional masculinity. Now, with that frame in place, let's break down the specific touches that often mean she's not just interested, she's deeply attracted. 1. The lingering touch on your forearm. Picture it clearly. You're mid-conversation, relaxed, telling a story that has her smiling, maybe laughing, and then it happens. Her hand reaches out and lands on your forearm, not like a random bump in a crowded room, but like a slow, deliberate moment that seems to stretch time. She doesn't snatch it back. She doesn't pretend it never happened. Her fingers stay there a little longer than necessary, and that tiny pause says more than a dozen mixed signals ever could. Don't ignore that. Don't brush it off as nothing. That is a quiet but powerful sign that she feels a spark. The forearm is a safe zone. It's non-threatening, socially acceptable, the kind of place someone could touch and still play it off as friendly if they had to, yet it's close enough to the rest of you to carry a charge. When a woman chooses that spot and lets her hand linger, she's walking the line between safety and desire. She's not grabbing your waist or your hand yet, but she's not staying distant either. That small lingering touch is her way of saying, I'm comfortable with you, and I'm curious what happens if I step just a little closer. A woman who is not interested keeps distance. She keeps her hands to herself. She might laugh at your jokes, she might even enjoy your presence, but her body language stays neutral, guarded. A woman who is interested lets her body drift closer to your space. A woman who is drawn to a high-value man lets physical contact become a bridge. So when her fingers rest on your forearm for that extra second, understand what's going on underneath the surface. She's testing the water, but she's also responding to your presence, your calm confidence, your masculine energy. Be aware of that. You must see this as more than just contact, it's communication. The warmth of her touch tells you things her words might never say out loud. If you're in tune, you'll notice how her body leans in just a bit, how her eyes hold yours a little longer, how her smile softens. She might even lightly squeeze your forearm as she makes a point or laughs at your joke. That is not an accident. That is not just being friendly. That is her body saying, I want to be closer to this man. A high-value man pays attention to these moments without obsessing over them. Don't overanalyze every tiny movement like you're decoding a secret government file. Don't freeze or panic. Instead, stay present. Feel the touch. Notice the warmth. Then respond with calm, grounded masculine energy. Maybe lean in slightly when she touches you. Maybe you smile, maintain eye contact, and let your own hand rest comfortably on the table or on the back of her chair when it feels natural. You must show that you're not afraid of connection. You must show that you can handle intimacy without flinching. That is what separates you from the guy who either ignores the sign entirely or gets so excited he becomes nervous and awkward. When you want to attract women, remember this. Women often communicate their interest indirectly. They rarely announce, "I am deeply attracted to you," like a headline. Instead, they send signals. A lingering touch, a playful push on your arm, fingers tracing the inside of your wrist as she laughs. When you miss those signals, she feels unseen. When you cling to them desperately, she feels pressure. Your job as a high-value man is to notice them, appreciate them, and respond with steady confidence. Don't yank your arm away like you've been burned. Don't stare at her hand like it's some strange object. Be relaxed. Be comfortable in your skin. That is what makes your masculine energy so attractive, because it tells her, this man is not thrown off by closeness. He's ready for it. When her touch lingers, she's also watching you carefully. She wants to know, does he lean in? Does he smile? Does he meet my eyes? Does he stay calm? She wants to see if you're emotionally available while still grounded. She wants to feel that she can move closer without you either bolting or collapsing into neediness. If you want to attract women, remember that this moment is as much a test as it is an invitation. Don't fail that test by pretending you didn't feel it, and don't fail it by turning it into a big dramatic event. Just be there. Let the connection breathe. That is how high-value man moves, with calm, deliberate presence. Masculine energy at its best is not loud or aggressive. It's steady, centered, and reassuring. It says, you're safe here, and I'm not going anywhere. When she touches your forearm and stays there, you give her a safe place to land emotionally by being exactly that kind of man. You must understand that women live in a world where physical contact can be risky. So, when she initiates contact, even in a subtle way, she is taking a small social risk. Respect that. Honor it. Respond with warmth in your eyes, a relaxed posture, and an energy that says, I see you, and I like this too. Don't play the stonewall. Don't act cold just to seem strong. That isn't strength. That's fear in disguise. Strength is being able to let her in gradually without losing yourself. Strength is being solid enough that her attraction doesn't make you act like someone else. When you consistently embody that, you naturally attract women without trying so hard, because your presence speaks for you. And here's the final piece. Don't let your mind sabotage the moment. Overthinking kills momentum. If you sit there analyzing every millisecond of her touch, you'll pull yourself out of the present. You'll start doubting. You'll wonder, was that really attraction? Am I imagining this? That mental spiral steals your masculine energy and replaces it with anxiety. Don't do that to yourself. Be reflective, not obsessive. That is the difference. Let new ideas lead you to better actions, not to paralysis. Think about how a high-value man would respond, then actually do it. Smile. Hold eye contact. Match her warmth. Continue the conversation with ease. Clarity in your mind creates persistence in your behavior. You keep showing up as the same grounded, attractive man, not a bundle of nerves blowing hot and cold. So the next time her fingers rest on your forearm a little longer than they need to, remember this. She's not just touching your skin. She's reaching for your presence. She's saying, without words, I want to feel closer to you. Don't ignore it. Don't rush it. Be the man who can hold that moment, enjoy it, and let it naturally deepen the connection between you. 2. Her hand brushing against your thigh. Now we step into deeper waters, into the unmistakable she's definitely into you zone, the territory where touch is no longer neutral, accidental, or innocent. Picture the scene. You're sitting beside her in a bar on a couch, maybe even on a quiet park bench where the world feels just a little softer. You're relaxed, talking, listening, simply enjoying the flow between you. And then it happens. Her hand brushes your thigh. Light, quick, almost accidental. Except there it is again. And then again. That is no coincidence. Don't lie to yourself. Don't pretend you imagined it. You didn't. A woman doesn't repeat a mistake 3 times in a row unless she's trying to tell you something without saying it out loud. The thigh is bold territory. This isn't the safe, socially acceptable forearm touch. This isn't the polite brush of a handshake. This is close, close enough to your intimate space that she absolutely knows what she's doing. In female psychology, The thigh is a boundary rarely crossed unless attraction is real and alive. For a younger woman to take that step with an older man is even more revealing. She's sending a high-voltage signal of comfort, desire, curiosity, and confidence all at once. She's saying, I feel safe with you. I'm drawn to your presence. I see your maturity, and it pulls me in. Don't underestimate what her body is confessing. These touches are emotional messages wrapped in skin and warmth. Pay attention to her eyes when she does it. Watch the way she looks at you. Is she smiling with that soft, secretive edge? Does she lean in just a little closer? Does her voice drop half a tone, as if inviting you into a quieter world only the two of you share? These are not random behaviors. These are the footprints of attraction at its peak. When she brushes your thigh, she's giving you one of the clearest psychology tricks women use to reveal interest without risking outright rejection. Her touch becomes her language. Her proximity becomes the punctuation. That is the moment when you must be present. That is the moment when you must not freeze, panic, or shrink. And before we move on, pause. Reflection matters. Observe your actions, notice if your meaning shifts in the moment. Be aware of what your body communicates. True responses appear naturally when you're not performing. Real insight shows in how consistently you behave. This quiet awareness is part of understanding how to fall in love, because connection doesn't appear only in dramatic moments. It appears in the whispers, the gentle signals, the glances lasting 1 second longer than necessary. Most men miss this truth. They misread these touches, laugh them off, chalk them up to coincidence, or worse, they ignore them completely because they don't believe a younger woman could genuinely be drawn to them. Don't make that mistake. Don't underestimate yourself. These touches aren't random behavior. They're emotional confessions disguised as casual gestures. In female psychology, physical closeness often reveals what words are not yet ready to speak. A younger woman attracted to an older man expresses desire through touch long before she expresses it through language. She's not just touching your thigh, she's revealing how grounded she feels beside you. She's showing you how much she enjoys your calm presence, your maturity, your steady masculine frame. She's telling you she feels a spark, and she wants to know if you feel it too. This is where the darker, more fascinating layer of her intentions comes into play. The subtle psychology tricks behind her actions. Not manipulation, not deception, but instinct, attraction. The quiet push-pull dance of how to fall in love without rushing it, without naming it, without risking heartbreak too soon. Touch becomes her test. Not in a cruel way, but in a deeply natural way. She wants to see if you respond as a man, not a boy. She wants to feel whether your energy stays steady or collapses under pressure. She wants to know if the attraction she feels is grounded in something real. That is the beauty of the moment. That is why her hand lands exactly where it does. That is why she breaks the invisible boundary twice, 3 times, maybe more. Because a woman doesn't touch a man's thigh unless she's thinking something she's not ready to say out loud yet. You must understand this subtle dance. You must meet her energy with confidence, clarity, and presence. Recognize the signal for what it is, a doorway opening, a spark igniting, the quiet beginning of something deeper. If this opened your eyes, like the video, drop a comment and share it with a man who needs to hear this. Don't just watch and forget. Be the man who reads her signals, not the one who misses them. Comment to remember. Her touch on my thigh is her unspoken confession. 3. Running her fingers through your hair. When a woman reaches up and runs her fingers through your hair, you must understand exactly what's happening beneath the surface, because this gesture is never casual, never accidental, never meaningless. It is a deeply intimate signal built on trust, chemistry, and instinct, and as the Old Stoic wisdom reminds us, very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, and that includes recognizing the moments when life hands you clarity, power, and advantage, so don't ignore it. Don't downplay it. Don't pretend it's nothing, because it is something. It is a declaration of attraction wrapped in softness, and as Marcus Aurelius said, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts, which means you must train an iron mind to see desire for what it is rather than second-guessing yourself into hesitation. When she touches your hair, she crosses into a private zone, a vulnerable zone, a space men rarely allow others to enter. And if she steps into that space with confidence and ease, that is her saying, I feel safe with you. That is her saying, I want to connect with you. That is her saying, your presence calms me, excites me, and pulls me closer, so you must see it, feel it, own it. Let's be clear. Hair touching is not surface level flirting. It is primal communication, a subtle but unmistakable sign that her guard is down, her instincts are awake, and her attraction is no longer theoretical. It's embodied, physical, real. Women do not touch what they do not desire. They do not play with what they do not feel drawn toward. They do not enter your personal space unless something in you, your posture, your energy, your maturity, has earned their trust. And this is where Stoicism wins, because a grounded man over 30 who carries himself with focus, restraint, and emotional clarity becomes irresistible. His steadiness makes her feel safe. His presence makes her feel feminine. His energy makes her want to reach out and feel the connection with her own hands. Modern life overwhelms people with noise, distraction, speed, and emotional confusion, but this gesture cuts through all of it. It is simple, ancient, universally understood, and when she does it, she is giving you direct feedback that your masculine presence is working. So don't question it, don't dilute it, and don't ruin it by slipping into nervous overthinking. Respond with confidence, not hesitation. Tilt your head slightly toward her, hold her gaze. Let your calm energy communicate that you are present, aware, and in control, because a man who can stay steady in intimate moments is a man women respect, trust, and desire. Remember, fortune favors the bold, and that includes emotional boldness. Don't shrink, don't apologize, don't freeze. Lean into the moment with the quiet dominance of a man who knows his worth, because this is how you form deeper attraction. This is how you build connection. This is how you embody high-value dating psychology in a world where too many men give away their power by second-guessing every signal. When she sweeps your hair back, when she tugs lightly, when she holds eye contact as her fingertips linger, that is emotional surrender. That is interest elevated to desire. That is the moment where she's telling you, not with words, but with instinct, that she chooses you. You must meet that choice with strength. You must meet it with grounded masculinity. You must meet it with an iron mind trained not to panic but to lead. Don't let fear cloud your perception. Don't let insecurity sabotage the opportunity. Don't let doubt interrupt a moment that is already unfolding in your favor. Instead, let's take command of the dynamic, breathe slowly, be fully present, and let her feel the stability of a man who is unmoved by pressure and unthreatened by intimacy. In an age where confidence is rare, emotional steadiness is magnetic, and masculine presence is a competitive advantage. Your ability to respond decisively sets you apart from the masses. That is how Stoicism wins in relationships. That is how Old Stoic wisdom applies to modern attraction. And that is how you master the moment, by mastering yourself. So when she touches your hair, understand what she is telling you. She is drawn to you. She trusts you. She wants you closer. Don't overthink it. Don't step back. Step into your strength. Claim the moment. Own the connection. Move like a man who is ready to win, because you are. 4. Her hand resting on your chest. When a woman lets her hand rest on your chest, pay attention, because that's not random body language, that's her nervous system talking. The chest, especially for a man, signals strength, protection, security, and grounded presence. It's the quiet billboard of your masculine energy. When she laughs at your joke and lightly presses her hand against your chest, when she's telling a story and uses you as a human bookmark, or when an emotional moment hits and her fingers naturally drift there and stay a little longer than they need to. That touch is loaded with information. That is not just casual contact like bumping elbows in a crowded room. That is curiosity, comfort, and a rising emotional attraction blending with physical attraction in real time. For a high-value man, this is where you must read the subtext instead of chasing the surface. Don't just think, oh, she's touchy-feely with everyone, and brush it off. But also don't jump straight to wedding bells because her palm grazed your shirt. Be aware. Her hand on your chest often means she feels safe enough in your presence to close the distance. to literally place herself inside your personal space and see how you handle it. Women don't offer that kind of touch to a man they feel is weak, creepy, or unstable. They offer it to the man whose vibe says, I've got you. I'm solid. I'm not going to freak out or collapse emotionally. That is masculine energy at work, calm, steady, and unshaken. When she rests her hand there and you feel her fingers linger, maybe tracing little circles or lightly gripping your shirt, she's not just signaling, I kind of like you. She's saying, I feel something serious here, and I'm testing whether you can hold this energy. The chest is close to the heart, literally and symbolically, and human beings instinctively know that. When she bridges that gap, she's getting closer not just to your body, but to the man you are underneath the surface, your values, your confidence, your emotional stability. A high-value man understands that women often communicate through subtle touch long before they verbalize anything clear, so you must learn to read it without acting needy or overeager. Don't rush in like a teenager who just got his first sign of interest and now wants to fast forward the whole relationship. Don't grab her hand dramatically or make it weird with a big, awkward joke that kills the moment. Be present instead of performative. A simple, grounded response, holding eye contact, softening your expression, letting a small smile appear, is often enough to show her you noticed and you appreciate the connection without turning it into a circus. That is how you attract women from a place of quiet confidence instead of desperation. You must remember, women are constantly scanning how you respond to their signals. When she touches your chest and you act uncomfortable, flinch, or overreact, she reads that as emotional instability or insecurity. When she touches your chest and you become cocky, bragging, or overly sexual, she reads that as immaturity or lack of depth. But when she touches your chest and you stay calm, warm, and subtly engaged, you're showing her you're a high-value man who can handle emotional and physical closeness without losing himself. Don't underestimate how powerful that is for her. A lot of men think attraction is all about looks, money, or lines, but a big part of how you attract women, especially over 30, 40, 50, is how safe, seen, and cherished they feel around you. Her hand on your chest is her way of asking, can I relax with this man? Can I let my feminine side breathe here? Does his masculine energy feel protective or threatening? You must answer that question with your behavior, not with a speech. If you like her, lean in slightly, lower your voice a bit, slow down your movements. Let her feel that you're grounded, not jittery. That is how you make that tiny moment of contact feel like a safe harbor instead of a brief accident. And don't ignore the context. If she only touches your chest once in a crowded, noisy bar while she's talking loudly to everyone, that might mean less than when she's talking to just you, in a quieter setting, and her hand goes there again and again. Staying longer each time. Patterns matter. A woman who keeps returning to your chest is often telling you, without words, that the connection is growing. Be smart enough to notice the pattern and confident enough to respond slowly rather than chasing fast results. Don't treat her touch as a green light to push her boundaries. Treat it as an invitation to deepen the emotional connection while respecting her pace. That is what separates the average guy from the truly high-value man. When you respond this way consistently, you don't just attract women. You attract women who are drawn to your stability, your maturity, your leadership. Over time, your masculine energy becomes something she trusts, not just something she's briefly excited by. You must see her hand on your chest as a compliment and a responsibility at the same time. She's telling you she feels something, and she's watching what you do next. Don't rush. Don't assume too much. But absolutely don't ignore it. Attraction hides in her touch, and a man who knows how to read that touch and answer it with calm strength will naturally attract women again and again without trying to prove anything to anyone. If this opened your eyes or gave you a new perspective, make sure to like the video, drop a comment, and share it with a man who needs this reminder. Don't forget to subscribe for more high-value dating psychology and masculine energy insights. Comment to remember, I attract connection with calm masculine confidence. 5. Grazing your lower back. Now that is one of those psychology tricks nature built into female psychology long before anyone had a dating coach or a YouTube algorithm. Imagine this. You and her are walking through a cafe, moving down a busy sidewalk, or slipping through a crowded room, and suddenly, there it is. Her hand, soft but confident, slides onto your lower back. Not high where it could pass as friendly, not mid back where it could be accidental. Low, intentional, precise. That simple touch carries more emotional voltage than a dozen flirtatious sentences. The lower back is one of the most vulnerable, instinct-driven areas of the body. It's the place people protect without realizing it. So when she puts her hand there, she's not just guiding you through a doorway. She's communicating, quietly but unmistakably, I feel safe with you. I trust your presence. I want you to notice me. That is female psychology hidden in plain sight. A woman will not graze your lower back unless she already feels something pulling her closer, especially a younger woman who hasn't yet learned to hide her instincts behind layers of polite behavior. This is not random. This is not friendly. And this is not something she does to every guy who walks next to her. This is attraction speaking in physical form, subtle, soft, but incredibly clear. It's one of the oldest psychology tricks in the book for how to fall in love without saying a word. Touch is the first language humans ever learned, and her lower back touch is a sentence written in bold. You must understand that when she touches you there, she's testing the energetic connection between you. She wants to know if you feel her. She wants to see how you respond. She wants to sense whether your masculine presence stays steady or collapses under the heat of subtle intimacy. Don't ruin the moment by overreacting. Don't stiffen up like a startled deer. And don't swing around like you've been shot. Be calm. Be grounded. Be the man whose energy says, I noticed. And I'm comfortable with this. A woman wants to feel that her attraction doesn't scare you. That is how to fall in love for women, through feeling, through safety, through emotional tension. If you panic, she reads it as insecurity. If you ignore it completely, she thinks you didn't notice or don't care. But if you acknowledge it with subtle confidence, a slight lean toward her, a gentler pace, a small grin she can't fully decode, she feels you in a way that deepens the chemistry instantly. Again, overthinking kills chemistry. Awareness strengthens it. Her touch on your lower back means she's opening a door. Not a physical one, a psychological one. It's her way of saying, I'm comfortable stepping closer. Are you? It's female psychology at work, the gentle invitation, the soft signal, the subtle escalation. Women communicate interest in layers, not explosions. They reveal attraction in micromoments, not declarations. That lower back touch is one of those secret markers. Let her hand be the clue it is. Don't treat it lightly, but don't pedestalize it either. Instead, let it guide you. Let it tell you that she's paying attention to you, that she wants your attention too, and that she's feeling something deeper than surface-level charm. This touch is where psychology tricks and instinct blend. Women are biologically wired to reach for a man they feel connected to, drawn to, warmed by. The lower back is intimate but not inappropriate. It's safe but bold. It's familiar yet still exciting. It's her way of stepping into your masculine frame without announcing it. And here's the thing you must remember. She's not touching your shoulder, your arm, or your hand, areas anyone can touch without emotional weight. She's choosing the place closest to your center of gravity, closest to your strength, closest to your instinctive protector zone. That is no accident. That is attraction in motion. If you want to know how to fall in love from a woman's perspective, pay attention to these micro messages. They're quiet, but they're strong. And when she brushes your lower back, she's showing more vulnerability than you might realize. She's leaning in without asking permission. She's showing interest without risking rejection. She's telling you she wants closeness without forcing you into it. That is the beauty of female psychology: soft power, subtle moves, deep meaning. So when you feel her hand there, slow your thoughts. Don't analyze it to death. But don't pretend it means nothing. Let awareness sharpen your perception. Let your response show confidence. You must hold the moment lightly but intentionally. Chemistry doesn't survive pressure, but it thrives in presence. And the man who recognizes this signal becomes the man who knows how to build connection without chasing it. Remember, the lower back touch is not noise, it's a message. It's attraction stepping into your space to see what you do. Be the man who reads it clearly. Be the man who responds calmly. And above all, be the man who understands that sometimes the smallest touches reveal the biggest truths. 6. Playful touches on your neck. When a woman playfully touches your neck, understand that this is not an accident, not a coincidence, not a meaningless gesture. It is desire made visible, the kind of desire strong enough to override her hesitation, silence, and restraint. Because the neck is one of the most sensitive human areas, and no woman allows herself to cross that boundary unless something inside her has already decided to move closer. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts, and her actions reveal her thoughts long before her words ever do, because when she adjusts your collar, brushes away imaginary lint, or lets her fingers linger at the back of your neck, she is showing you a truth she may not yet admit. A truth her body speaks with more honesty than her voice, and you must recognize that truth with the iron mind of a man who understands human behavior deeply, calmly, confidently. Don't dismiss these small touches. They are not small. They are signals, invitations, glimpses into the attraction she is trying to control but can't fully contain, because when she leans in while touching your neck, even slightly, her body is telling you she feels safe, drawn in and ready for deeper connection. And in the world of modern dating, where people hide behind phones, where emotions are filtered through screens, where authenticity is rare, physical signals like these rise in value. Because they are harder to fake, harder to fabricate, harder to perform without real interest behind them. You must remember what Seneca said: fire tests gold, adversity tests the brave, and attraction tests truth. A woman who feels nothing touches nothing. A woman who feels nothing lingers nowhere. A woman who feels nothing does not repeatedly close the physical gap between you and her, because desire is not subtle. It always leaks through the edges, no matter how much she tries to conceal it. Don't hesitate when you see it. Don't doubt yourself. Don't talk yourself out of what is directly in front of you. Let's be clear. A younger woman attracted to an older man often expresses her interest physically before emotionally, not because she lacks depth, but because her emotions are still forming, still clarifying, still assembling themselves into something she can articulate. Meanwhile, her hands are already speaking, already signaling, already revealing the direction her heart is preparing to move, and your job is not to overanalyze, it is to observe, to understand, to respond with the steadiness of Old Stoic wisdom, the kind of grounded presence that makes a woman feel both curious and safe. That is how you win in modern life, not by chasing, not by doubting, but by embodying the Stoicism win mindset, the presence of a man who sees clearly and acts decisively. You must hold your frame. You must keep your composure. You must remember that attraction is not built through pressure, it is built through confidence, subtlety, and control. A neck touch is her testing your energy, your steadiness, your masculine response, because women instinctively seek a man who can hold his own center, who can remain calm when she becomes playful, bold, or flirtatious. This is where you show the strength of an iron mind. You don't flinch. You don't become needy. You don't turn the moment into something awkward or forced. Instead, you let the moment unfold naturally while maintaining the authority of a man who has lived, learned, and understands the rhythm of attraction. As Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "What you do speaks so loudly that I cannot hear what you say," and her touch is exactly that, action revealing intention. In today's world, where men often second-guess themselves and overthink every gesture, the high-value man moves differently. He does not collapse into insecurity. He does not scramble for meaning. He does not look for external validation. Because he relies on Old Stoic wisdom to stay centered, he uses Stoicism win principles to remain unshaken, and he strengthens his iron mind through every interaction, learning to read the truth beneath the surface. Let's state this plainly. When her fingers find your neck, she is inviting closeness. When she leans in, she is breaking the invisible barrier between acquaintance and intimacy. When she touches you repeatedly, she is signaling a desire she hopes you understand. Don't ignore it. Don't overreact. Don't underestimate the moment. Use it as a reminder that attraction is an energy exchange, and you must bring the steady masculine energy that guides the moment forward. Your life becomes stronger when you master these signals. Your relationships become richer when you understand the unspoken language of women. Your confidence becomes unshakable when you recognize that desire is not mysterious. It is observable, readable, predictable when you approach it with the discipline of Stoicism, the patience of Old Stoic wisdom, and the unbreakable core of an iron mind trained to see through doubt. This is how you master dating as a man over 30. This is how you win in the modern world. This is how you rise above hesitation and step into the role of a man who leads, attracts, and conquers with clarity and purpose. If you want, I can write more sections, expand this into a full script, or tailor it to a specific tone or platform. All right, my friend, that brings us to the end of today's breakdown. I'm really glad you spent this time with me, and I hope this gave you the clarity you've been needing. What we talked about today isn't guesswork. It's not signals pulled out of thin air. It's real psychological behavior, subtle, deliberate, and deeply revealing. When a woman touches you, she's not just brushing against your forearm or fixing your color. She's communicating in the oldest human language there is, emotional instinct. Every place she touches carries a different message: safety, curiosity, attraction, desire, or the first step toward vulnerability. None of those gestures happen by accident. And here's what matters most: you don't need to decode her like a puzzle. You just need to stay grounded enough to feel what she's trying to show you. So here's my sincere advice to you as a man over 30, a man who's learned a few things, who's lived through relationships, and who values real connection. Be present. If she reaches out, don't pull away or freeze. Offer steady, calm energy. That's what allows her attraction to deepen. Be intentional. You don't need to rush or force anything. Respond with quiet confidence, the kind younger men haven't developed yet. Be consistent. Her repeated touch is her way of asking, is he really the man I think he is? Show her through your presence that the answer is yes. Remember, her touch isn't random. It's not impulsive. It's an emotional reveal she can't hide and often doesn't want to. When she touches you in public, she's choosing to be seen wanting you. When she touches you again later, she's replaying how you made her feel the first time. And when she touches places tied to trust or intimacy, she's inviting you into a world she doesn't open for just anyone. So carry this with you. A woman's touch is not a test you need to pass. It's a moment you need to respect. Meet her in that moment with maturity, steadiness, and intention, and you'll be amazed how naturally the connection deepens. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here, and thank you for choosing to understand yourself and women on a deeper level. I'll see you in the next one.